There we go. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hi, everybody. Welcome to Halal Stock Hunters Pick of the Week. This is Afiq, Chief Finance Engineer at Touchtree Finance, and that is my good friend
Adi here from ProTradersNetwork.com. Yep, coming
together. We are halalinvestingnetwork.com. And so, folks, we are gonna be talking about a couple of stock picks that we had picked a while back. They were on our watch list. And I was looking at some of the fundamentals and I was looking at the charts, so it might look interesting. And so without further ado, let's go into the first one. I'm going to share my screen really quickly. There we go. Welcome to Halal Stock Hunters Pick of the Week, 28th June 2021. Now, the first counter on my list after looking at the watch list is actually Copart. Now, if you remember, Copart is a global provider of online vehicle auction. It's a very interesting company. It's one of those things that go under the radar, and unless you're in the business, you will not know about it. And they have been handling a lot of high volume of vehicles over the past decade, actually. And so from that note, I actually love looking at Copart's chart. I was doing a bit more digging on their business model over the past month or so, and I think they're a solid company. And of course, they're also halal. Now, folks, the typical disclaimer does come in and does apply. Do your own due diligence before you start buying anything from here. And we do this for entertainment and education purposes, not as a stock recommendation. So let's throw the ball back to Adi. He will look at our charts. We did say that there was a target price of, what was it? 127. So let's look at the charts right now. Adi, all yours.
Right. Let me just share my screen. All right, so we are looking at, how do you pronounce that? Copart or Copart?
Copart.
Copart. Okay. Copart. All right, so this is the weekly chart of Copart, and as you can see, it has actually broken the resistance. Right, the resistance is at around the 1 to 9 zone, and this being the weekly chart, we can see that a new swing low has actually, a higher swing low has actually formed. And let me just mark it here. Okay, this is the swing low that I see here versus the swing low that we see earlier on that was made in early March this year. So I have even stated here, right, in our last sessions, if you actually remember, I stated that there are 2 pintail candles here. And now we have another pintail candle here, and price have actually pushed through to the upside. And this breaking of the resistance is, to me, an important signal. It shows that Copart's price is very bullish right now. The trend is up, and it has basically, if you look, I have actually made the chart smaller. You can see that the current price is at its all-time high, right? So that doesn't mean that, you know, when it's at its all-time high, it doesn't mean that it's going to reverse. It could actually go up higher. And I have actually connected the lines, the swing highs of this particular stock. And you can see that the next potential resistance, 139 resistance, can come at around the 150 zone, right? So Afiq, what do you think of this stock? Is it good to go? I think that it looks good right now. We could actually go into the stock and possibly target around 140, 150.
Target 140, 150. That makes sense. I'm looking at the fundamentals, because you know I'm the fundamentals guy, but I'm trying to learn about the technicals from you. And what you've taught me is that, like you say, it's a bullish trend, right? It broke that resistance, and it did break 130, that psychological round number of 130, and so that 130 will become the support. And like you say, looking based on that, if you can go as high as 150, I would say, yeah, let's go in, right? You and I would definitely go in. So let's see, today is the 28th, so 28th of June. Let's see whether we can go in and get triggered and see what happens. So yes, high. So would you say low, medium, high conviction?
I would say high conviction for this particular stock at this point, right? Until of course things change. But of course, if it goes below 130, then I guess we might need to take a loss. So our stop loss would be in between 117 to 129. If it goes back into that zone, we will talk about, you know, basically letting go of this stock. But as long as it trades above 130, I think it's poised to actually move to the upside.
Okay, best. I'm gonna put in a stop loss of 125. Is that okay?
125. Okay, I think if we enter at 133, a 10% stop loss is about $13, right?
Yep.
So we can even put at 120 of it.
Okay, let's put it at 120. So there's a stop loss of 120 down at 10%. All right, I have put that into my, well, it's really just a spreadsheet. So I put that into my trading journal. And I think it will be something that we'll continue watching over the next couple of weeks. And folks, if you are interested to know what is in our model, HIN model portfolio, you've got to join the Halal Investing Network VIP circle. Now, stay tuned for a special offer at the end of this. So yes, okay, Adi's putting those things in. We've got a couple of things on our watch list as well. And another interesting one that has been going. Let me share my screen one more time while Adi's doing that. Yes. And yeah, so we have Copart. We have Copart on the list. The next one we were looking at that was also on our watch list was NXPI. Now, NXPI does, well, semiconductors, right? And back when we picked this particular counter a couple of months ago, we were saying that there was going to be a high demand for semiconductors and that there's a lot of, well, not really a shortage, but a backlog of production. So high demand with something that's scarce, it's going to drive up the price. So let's have a look at the charts. Adi, it's all yours again.
All right, so let me just share my screen. And for NXPI, we have actually looked at this chart a couple of weeks ago, and on the daily, we are on the daily time frame for this chart right now. And as I've drawn the lines, we can see that it is in a clear uptrend, right? It's a very clear uptrend right now. And for last, I think when we actually covered this stock, I did mention that we might see a retracement because of the fact that the price have actually met resistance at this point around the 214 level. And after which I said that possibly this slanting line here might provide some support, which actually it did, right? It came back down all the way to test this slanting support at the 193, and it has actually bounced up right now to 204, which is about $7. And I feel that there is a good potential for this particular stock to go higher because of the fact that it has tested its lows, and we might see it going up to actually maybe test the resistance levels. So as you can see, we are seeing higher lows, which is a good indication, a confirmation that we have an uptrend, and we have higher highs as well. So I've marked it with these two arrows here, okay, the highs. Let me just put the squares over there. So you can see that we have higher highs and we have higher lows. So if, let's say, the momentum continues from where we are right now, we might be seeing another potential higher high. And let's just put it, yeah, we could actually move all the way up to around the 240 zone. All right, which is also coincides with the slanting line resistance. What do you think of it?
That's actually a very nice chart. I'm looking at it right now. It's a very, very nice chart. And it did break the previous resist, the previous high, right? It broke that previous high of 204. And we did say in my notes here that the target price was 204. So it's actually broken that 204. And it is on our watch list, and it has broken or it has triggered our buy price. What do you say? Low, medium, high conviction?
I would say at this point, okay, it has not broken up the resistance like what we saw on Copart, right?
Yeah.
So, but however, then I would say between medium to high.
Medium to high. Okay. So medium high. Now, even if we do go in today, what's our stop loss? If I'm looking at your chart,
Well,
180.
we don't, once price actually goes below here, we don't want to be holding to it anymore. So 190 is a good stop loss actually. While we are actually targeting, the first target is to reach the resistance at 215, and then next will be around 226, and next is 240. So you can actually break it up in three parts.
So I'm just gonna write this down. So our stop loss, let's put it in 193.
Yep. So your risk reward ratio is actually 1:3. You are risking about 1 and you're getting about 3R. So that's not so bad, right?
Yeah, target price is 241. Let me just put that in there as well. Take profit on 241. So folks, as you can see, it's really important to actually have certain indicators and rules that you need to follow, right? Because trading, we need to remove emotion from trading. And one of the most important things that we first learn is about, investing psychology and behavioral, human behavior at the end of the day. And we cover this in our courses. And of course, there are lots of little videos and articles that we talk about. You can go and find most of this for free on our website, as well as, if you want a lot more information, you got to join the Halal Investing Network VIP circle. Now, you got to tell us a little bit more, Adi, what are you doing? I know what you're doing, but you got to tell our viewers what you're doing.
Well, what we are looking here is a classical chart pattern. It's a inverse head and shoulders pattern. This is a bullish pattern, right? So on the left side, we have the left shoulder and the head here, and the right shoulder. So once we break this level, which is a resistance at 214, I believe we're going to fly all the way up to 240. So that's why right now I have just drawn this so that you can see that we have a couple of bullish reasons to actually enter this trade. So Afiq, why don't we put this stock in our portfolio? And
all right,
with a stop loss of around 190 and risk reward of 1:3.
Okay, there we go. Risk reward 1 to 3. 1, 2, 3. There we go.
You do recognize this, right? This pattern, I think.
Yeah, it's a reverse head and shoulders, right?
You can see it anytime, right? Whenever it appears.
I still need a bit of guidance once in a while. It takes me a bit longer, but I got to say, from the moment I started until now, I'm getting a bit better, a bit better. And that's the key, isn't it, folks? Right? Like, if you like it and you keep practicing it, eventually you get better and better and better. Because if you stop practicing, you just go, nah, I'm not interested. And it's a skill that never gets better as you practice. So the key here is to practice. We actually have some time. Do we want to look at another one on our watch list? Because I am looking at one more, which, just for the heck of it, let's cover that. You okay with that, Adi?
Yeah, what stock is it?
Proofpoint.
That's something we have not covered before, right?
We have. It's on our watch list, but Proofpoint has been, I've been looking at it, and it's very, very interesting how the stock has been moving over the past couple of months, actually.
Okay, so I might need to actually open up another tab here.
Proofpoint, we did cover, I think Proofpoint, we talked about it in May.
In May.
Yeah, early May, I think.
Proofpoint. What's the code?
PFPT. Since we have time, and we'll show our audience or what we're currently looking at. Proofpoint looks very interesting.
But there's a gap up,
Yeah, that's the thing. That massive gap up was why we put it on our watch list. We wanted to see what would happen with it. And I've been watching it over the past couple of weeks, over the past couple of months. And I just want to know your opinion on Proofpoint. Should we take it off our watch list? Should we continue watching it? I'm curious.
Well, definitely this stock is in an uptrend, right? So let me just plot the lines. This is on the weekly chart, and it has broken above basically the, if I just extrapolate, you can see that it has broken the, even the slanting resistance here and here. So, and it is not actually really going down yet. And it's actually quite, you know, when you actually trade gap ups, right? Companies like this, stocks like this, when it does a gap up, right? It's quite tricky, I think, because there is a chance that it might actually close the gap, you see. And then after that, then it will move up. So if we want to actually enter this particular stock, it will be best to actually wait for it to actually reverse and test its resistance levels, then support, and then we will take the bounce.
All right, so I'm going to put in Proofpoint as a low conviction, but target buy price is 140. I'm just putting that in. So target buy price for Proofpoint will be 140. And so with Proofpoint, folks, remember, just because we see that big gap up, don't FOMO, okay? Don't FOMO.
So I'll just put on the chart and say, okay, it's tracked on today's date. So from here, we can actually see how it actually pans out. But of course, there is a slanting line here, which it might actually target before. If it can actually move up from there, it's still possible. But I would say that to be safe, you would want to actually buy when it actually goes lower, somewhere around the 140, 145 zone. Because like I said, gaps are tricky to trade because, you know, it might actually cover the gap before it moves up higher.
Yeah, absolutely. And so folks, if you see something with a big gap like that, you've got to be very, very well aware that it might go anywhere. It might go up, it might go down. And so risk reward ratio, are we willing to take that amount of risk for a reward that we can't really foresee? Right? I can't really tell where the stock is going to be going up to if it does go up, but I can see how much it'll drop. If it does drop, clearly the next support is 140, and currently at 170 to 140, that's a $30 drop. That is 0.3 divided by 170. That's 25% down if it does touch 140, right?
Yep. So you got to be careful when you are trading stocks like this with this kind of chart. And if you actually, I actually looked at Nike stock as well. It also has a gap up. So sometimes when the market gets exuberant because of the fact of a certain news or data that just comes out, then you can see price spiking up in this way. But it gets tricky if this happens because, like I said, sometimes gaps get covered, but sometimes it doesn't get covered early. It gets covered later on after it's like gone up for a couple more weeks, and then it will just come back down as fast as it came up to cover the gap. So, yeah, you got to be aware of all these things if you are going to be trading a chart that has a gap like this.
And Nike's jump up was insane. I was looking at it, and so okay, so let's face it, Nike is Sharia compliant. I'm just wondering whether should we put Nike on our watch list or not. What do you say?
It's an interesting stock. I think it's popular. I think someone who doesn't trade will also still know what's Nike doing. Basically making shoes for a lot of people all over the world.
Expensive shoes for people all over the world.
I was just talking to my my analyst from Algeria. So even in the Mediterranean, in his country, I asked him whether Nike is popular over there. He said everyone wears Nike there in Algeria. So can you just imagine, even in the North African side of, you know, of the African continent, the northern side, people are using Nike, and can you just imagine the rest of the world, the demand for Nike shoes?
Absolutely. Absolutely. And talking about demand, that ultimately you know a company is good from a fundamentals perspective, right? A company is good when there is demand. You know, they solve a problem that people want. People want good shoes. And while Nike may be pricey for a lot of people, right? It's the same thing with companies like Apple. Their phones are pricey, but they solve a need. And so folks, from a fundamentals perspective, when you're looking at this, do all your due diligence, do your analysis, and take technical analysis as a way to, well, in my opinion, buy in when it's cheap, and of course, profit from the short-term movements. And on that note, I want to cover one last one, if that's okay, because I was reading the news about vaccines, right? And one of the most interesting vaccines out there, one of the more interesting companies out there that deals in the vaccine is actually Moderna. And Moderna is on our watch list, Adi. And it has recently tried to test that that resistance. And I want your opinion on Moderna. What do you say? Let's have a look at Moderna.
Okay. I need to find first.
Yeah, I remember you had a chart for it.
Let's go. Okay, hold on. Because we have quite a number of charts really open and we are tracking quite a lot of stocks. That's why I think sometimes, you know, yeah, I think at this point, okay, let me just look at this last one. Yeah,
it is Moderna. We covered Moderna, I think, just a few weeks ago, right?
Yeah, we started monitoring on the 30th of May.
Yes. Oh, wait, it's been a month already. What, a few weeks ago?
Yeah, so during that point, the price was around 185. But we didn't put it in our portfolio, right?
No, we are looking for an opportunity to buy.
But apparently the price didn't actually retrace, you know, from where we actually, once it broke above the resistance, there was 2 weeks of bullish price movement before a retracement, and then another spike up. So at this point, I think it's a bit it's not the right time to enter, in my opinion. I would prefer that it actually comes back down to test the 183 zone, and that's where we could actually enter.
All right. 183. So I'm going to put that in because I'm just looking at our watch list, and some of these counters are super interesting, you know, and the way it goes up is so nice to watch. And folks, for those of you who have gotten into Moderna, congratulations.
They are selling basically vaccines, right? In Singapore is using Moderna's vaccine or Pfizer? Both, right?
Both Moderna and Pfizer. In fact, I just got vaccinated the other day. I think mine was a Pfizer one.
Okay. So yeah, so I guess because of the demand for vaccines all around the world, and it's affecting the bottom line of the company and the price of the stock as well. You can see that people are buying into the stock, and even at 183, you know, now the price has gone up from 183 all the way to 220, and that's about a $40 move, and that's about 20%.
Yeah.
In about 4 weeks, in about a month, 20%. I don't know where you can get such returns actually elsewhere.
Sell a kidney. You know, since you're talking about Pfizer, right? I decided to do a quick search on my side. Pfizer actually looks very interesting. Do we have time to cover Pfizer? What do you think?
Why not we hold that back for the next session?
All right.
And then, you know, that's something that our audience can look forward to.
Pfizer. I'm going to put Pfizer onto my watch list.
It's a Sharia compliant stock, right? At this point.
Yes, Pfizer is Sharia compliant. And because, you know, when people talk Moderna, they talk about Pfizer, so I just thought it would be interesting. But folks, let's talk about Pfizer either next week during our hot stock picks, or if we have the time, maybe this week we'll do the midweek review to look at our existing portfolio. And so on that note, I'm going to stop your share here. And on that note, we've come to the end of Halal Stock Hunters Pick of the Week. And just to recap, we covered Copart, CPRT, we covered NXPI, NXP Semiconductors. We also covered Moderna and Proofpoint. And in summary, we are adding CPRT and NXPI to our portfolio. It looks very nice. And well, If you're following, again, disclaimer, do your own due diligence. If we do this for entertainment and educational purposes only. And I did promise that we'll have an offer at the end of our segment. And so you can join our Halal Investing Network VIP circle. If you just go to our website, halalinvestingnetwork.com, you'll see our offers there. The VIP circle is only at $69.90 a month. But if you act now, you get 30% off the yearly subscription, right? So typically a yearly subscription is about $800 over dollars. And if you act now, you get 30% off, which is about $560. So act quickly. We'll take the offer off the table soon. Those are my last words. This is Afik, Chief Finance Ninja from Frost Finance. Adi, what are your last words?
Okay, folks, this week, basically, I just want to wish you all, good trading, good investing, and hope to see you guys again in the next show.
All right. And there'll be this coming Wednesday for our midweek review. We'll see you there. And if you haven't, look for us on YouTube. Subscribe, please, like, comment, share. We do this just for you, to your financial success. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.